Tonight, we're traveling back in time to explore one of Maine's oldest textile mills. Is it haunted or not? Come with us and find out. Welcome to Haunt Me. So I have a challenge for the team that I think is going to be really exciting. Have you ever heard of the Biddeford Mills?
Yeah, I've driven by it like 1,000 times. Why?
Well, we've been given the go-ahead to investigate there. So I know it's a huge place, but I think it's an opportunity that we can't pass up because we're the first paranormal investigation team that they've ever let in.
Yeah, totally, but I mean, calling it huge is kind of an understatement. I mean, I think that's like a complex of a bunch of different buildings, and I think it stretches along the Saco River in Biddeford.
Yeah, it does. But we have a bunch of different people who have experiences there of the paranormal sort, and there's even a man who captured a photo of what he believes to be a ghost in one of the buildings. So it sounds like it's gonna be worth it.
I know that we've learned a lot over our past 3 investigations, but just in terms of size of the mills and the amount of activity that you're talking about, do you think our team is ready for something like that?
I mean, I'm not sure, but I know that you and Carol have had some experience at some really sprawling places with your last ghost hunting team. So maybe you could share some of those experiences of the larger places that you've been to so I can better prepare the team.
I visited some pretty seedy locations, like Fort Mifflin and the Myrtle Plantation, and I've had some pretty close calls when I've let my guard down. It's going to be important for the team to ensure their own safety. This means checking in mentally as often as possible to see if you're being contacted by a spirit. Symptoms of this could include a sudden or fierce mood change or a drop in energy level. It's also important to stay safe physically, and that means being aware of your surroundings. Don't linger on staircases or ledges where you might fall on your own or be pushed by a malevolent force. Also, be aware of objects that are in your room and those that can cause harm. This last part will be especially important as we travel through the mills.
I know Ty has his doubts about sending us into what could be a dangerous situation, but all we can do is continue investigating and not let this opportunity go in favor of a smaller, less populated place. After all, that's the only way that we can hope to get better and improve our skills in dealing with potentially malicious spirits. Outside of the Biddeford Mill Complex in Biddeford, Maine. During the Industrial Revolution, this place served as one of the largest textile mills in New England. It still stands today, with one of the mill buildings serving as a community hub with restaurants, offices, and apartments. A large portion of the mill stands abandoned, preserved and watched over by Carolyn Gosselin and her students. We've come here because of the unique challenge this place offers us. The mill is huge. We're excited to be able to test our new skills in a place of this caliber. We'll team up and venture through the many empty buildings, which a number of people say are not as vacant as they appear.
Whether you're from here or whether you move here, you associate Biddeford with the massive amounts of brick.
Carolyn Gosselin is a school teacher at nearby Biddeford High School. She helps to preserve the history of the mill by running the mill museum and organizing tours of the complex.
One day, the mill owner came into the office and said to a few of the students and I, "Have you been over to see building 16 yet?" We hadn't, but we could see it out of our window every day, and we knew that it was one of the oldest buildings and that it was slated to come down. We were very excited to then have the mill owner unlock the door for us, but he didn't have time to go in, so he just opened the door and in we went.
The mill has served as an integral part of the community for many years, and Carolyn helps this relationship to continue. She gets her students involved in learning the history of the mill and helping to preserve it, both physically and as a foundation of the city of Biddeford.
My name is Tracy Chaplin. I've been volunteering in Carolyn's classroom, so started working here in the mills with her and her projects. And coincidentally, I worked here in 1981 and 82. I love taking time-lapse photography. And I was on the ground level of 16, and I set up my tripod and my camera, and it was, it's dark, I was by myself. I had my back to the staircase, and my skin was just crawling. The hairs were standing up on the back of my neck. So I took a bunch of photos and it was all good, and left and went to Carolyn's class. As we're going through the pictures, one of Carolyn's students says, "Hey, there's something in the window." So sure enough, we look at it, and there is what appears to be a gentleman just kind of peering into the window, looking at me from the outside, which was completely weird because I felt like I was being watched from behind me. There was nothing that I could explain physically on the location that would have given me those images.
My name is Pete Lamontagne.
My name is James Lontine. I worked here 18 years.
I've worked here for almost 40 years, and I'm also a member of the board of directors for the Mill Museum. James and I were on a kayaking excursion. We were coming up the river. It happened right behind me here in a river. It's all part of it. The river is the important part of the mill. I spotted a little girl at the end of the sandbar. This is not a very big sandbar, probably 3 car lengths long, maybe 2 car lengths wide. And I said, geez, I says, she ought not to be there because there's a wicked current over there. And I told James, I said, start paddling. I said, we got to go talk to that little girl. But she was singing. So I asked Jim, I says, can you see her? He says, absolutely. I hollered loud enough to scare anyone. There was no reaction. Jimmy, do you see her? Yes, I do. This wasn't an apparition. It had clothes on, it had skin, it had eyes, and it had a voice, and she was singing. Paid no attention to us at all, no matter what I did.
No footprints on the island or
There were no
whatsoever.
footprints.
We looked for that. We looked for a boat. And how did she get there? The water was going fast on both sides.
I got very concerned, so I went left, he went right, and as we were going, I turned back, gone.
It's gone.
I said, James, look back there.
Yeah.
He got all excited. He says, she's gone. So we went a little further, looked again, and that's when I told him, we're out of here, James.
After interviewing everyone about their experiences, Hauntme gives the Biddeford Mills a pre-rate of 5. While we've been told about a number of personal experiences, we've also been presented with visual evidence, which causes us to raise our pre-rate score to the ambient level.
Alright guys, so we're at the Biddeford Mills now and we're getting ready to investigate, and we're going to be splitting up the teams. Ty has warned us to be extra cautious, and so we plan on heeding his advice in the off chance that this is a dangerous place. We're going to be split up into small groups. On past investigations, that meant being only one room or one floor away from the rest of our team. So we're going to be switching around a little bit. Everyone's going to get a chance to go to every building, and hopefully we'll catch them.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright guys, see you guys soon. Woo. But in this massive mill complex, it means not being able to call out to our group if something happens. We will have to rely on our partners and our own senses and instincts to keep us safe.
Hello?
Hello? My name's Ashley. That's Sean. Edie.
I'm gonna set a ghost trap. Okay, so if anyone's here right now, set a really, really easy way for you to communicate with us. Communicate even. We're gonna walk away from this area and we won't be back until the end of the night. So if anyone out here is shy but wants to make themselves known but not directly to us, just give this a light little tap and it's gonna go over. All you need to do is just tap it very lightly and it will shift and fall. And then when we come back at the end of the night, you'll have made your presence known, but you won't have to interact specifically with us, okay? So just give that a little tap at some point tonight.
is a recorder, and if you speak into the red light, I'll be able to hear you when I play it back. I won't be able to hear you right off, but when I play it back and rewind it, I'll be able to hear any messages or anything you have to say. And if you stand in front of this, if you touch it, just motion in front of it, it will make this sound. It won't hurt you, it's just a sound that lets me know that you're there.
We were in 13 and we were using the EMF detector and I was getting intelligent responses.
If that's you, do it again. If that's you, do it again. Walk up to Carol and touch her left hand.
It actually played through a call and response question and answer period.
I know it's hard and doesn't make much sense, but we're here to communicate with you. So, if you want to do that, and you have a message or just want to make yourself known, talk into the red light. If that makes sense, walk up to Carol. This is Carol.
I'm Carol.
I thought I felt someone behind me, so we just started randomly asking questions and getting answers.
It's like somebody's standing right behind me.
Are you standing behind Carol? If you are, just reach out and touch her left hand. Okay, thank you.
Do you like staying next to me?
Do you have a message for us, or do you just want to talk to Carol alone?
How would we answer that?
Okay, that was a terrible question. Do you want to speak with Carol alone? I don't really believe that, so you have to do it way more than that. What do you want us to do, Carol? Do you want me and Caitlin to leave for a minute? And have you do a private EVP session? She'll still be here with you.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's up to you.
Yeah, just for a minute though.
Okay, me and Caitlin are going to go away. You only have a few minutes to speak with Carol alone. So she's going to be asking you some questions and try to communicate with her, okay? We'll be back in 2 minutes. Oh, the flash dance.
We found this room, entitled above it, smoke room. So we opened it up and it still smelled like a smoke room. Everything was caked on with yellow. It was nasty, but it was obviously where the workers were taking their breaks.
Look, see the smoking room? The whole place is yellow and smells like smoke still.
Oh God.
Look at the ceiling fan.
Are you guys still smoking in here? K2 went up to red.
Did it really?
Yep. K2 meter went all the way up to orange. You guys smoking in here?
We scanned the room and were looking for electrical sources, but we couldn't find any.
If you're here, you can touch this green light. Yellow.
Really?
Yellow like the smoke.
Can you make that go up to yellow again?
You're asking questions and the K2 meter was still staying on yellow or orange almost consistently.
That's legit. That's not electrical current. It wouldn't be playing up and down like that.
No, I'm not even moving.
So who's in here with us right now?
What's your name?
It didn't have a yes or no response, but it was just like acknowledging that she had asked a question.
You can also make some noise by hitting one of the objects in the room.
The green light in Ash's hand? Good job.
That's great, wow.
You're doing great. Why don't you make that go up to yellow? If you just put a little bit more energy into it, it'll go up to yellow.
You can use some of my energy, I'm right here.
Me too. Put that right up to yellow. You can push a little bit harder.
You're so strong to be able to do that? What if I try setting this down?
Whoa, thank you!
Sorry.
Oh, don't get scared. Thank you so much.
Thank you, I'm sorry. I was kind of joking. I was like, well, do you want to go on a date with me? And it went up to red.
Do you like Ash better?
Can you blink it if you like me better? I'll hold it. Okay. Thank you. I like you too. We can be friends. Can you get it up to yellow if you really like me? I might go on a date with you if you
yay! Well, we gotta go now, but thank you so much for giving us this evidence. We do appreciate it. It was time for us to wrap that part of the investigation, but apparently the spirit wasn't done investigating us, because as we walked away, there was an unsettling feeling in the air.
I'll come back and visit you soon, I promise, okay?
Have a good break in the smoke.
Yeah.
Oh, it just went through me. Oh, Jesus, it's still coming. Go get him.
So he's right here.
Yeah, I know, he came out the door. You can stay. You can't follow me home. You can't follow Ash home either.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Come out the door.